Hey, get inspired, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Life Inspired. This is a show where we talk about how people and why people are following God. Most people have numerous turning points in their lives, and so we're going to ask a couple questions. What was life like before some kind of a ... and then God stepped in and did something in your life moment, and then now you're walking inspired, so what does that look like? And you can watch these shows and share these shows from our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Inspired Homes website, and we also have a new place where we're sharing it at lifeinspiredshow.com, so you can go there as well. And if you would, please subscribe to and like those places, because that'll help us get the word out to more people. So thanks for that. And our guest today is Chris Stevens from the University of Notre Dame's ILI program. Thanks for coming on the show.
It's great to be here. I admire so much what you're doing, touching so many lives out there with stories that people can relate to, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Thanks. So I met you because you came to speak to Rotary.
I did.
And tell us all about the Inspired Leadership Initiative that Notre Dame's doing, and I just was like, of course I was attracted to the word inspired, but just that you're like taking people that have, maybe finished a great career and they've kind of retired, and then they're like, oh wait, I don't know. So I just was so intrigued by that.
Well, it's a great program. I mean, for people who have finished their traditional careers, nursing, business, law, medicine, nonprofit, if they still have a lot of tread left on their shoes and would still want to learn, there's no place really for them to go to be with people in a similar mind. So we started an initiative last year at Notre Dame called the Inspired Leadership Initiative. That's ili.nd.edu.
A little promo there.
Yeah, and it's you can see the program live online right there. But what people do is that they come to Notre Dame for an entire year, academic year, and with the help of a faculty advisor, kind of stop, discern what they really want to study. They can audit 2 to 4 courses across the entire university, weekly luncheons with amazing guest speakers, weekly dinners with just the cohort. We take them to Rome, we take them to London, where we have global gateways. Cool. And they are able to guest lecture in their area of expertise, and the fellows who've been through the program and who are in it now call it absolutely life-changing.
That's so great, and I know that you're taking applications now. So if you guys are interested in the program, message us, we'll put you in touch with Chris Stevens and get that. So let's hear the Chris Stevens story. So
yeah, that'd be great. And also they can apply right online at ili.nd.edu. The application
is right there online. Yep. Okay, great. Okay. And so tell us about whatever turning point you're going to share with us. What was life like before your ... moment?
Well, I think maybe you have sometimes several ... moments.
Yeah.
So I was a foster kid, bounced around some kind of bad homes.
No kidding.
And I remember at times being taken to a farm in upstate New York, and then I remember when the car was driving away, and all I did was cry, just thinking, why me? Why me? Why do I have to be in this place? And so you have a lot of those moments in time. We all have a scrapbook, right? But I was blessed then to want to have a big family, a big happy family. And so I got married to a wonderful gal from the south side of Chicago. We had 5 wonderful kids, and things were growing great. And then one day she got ill, and it was lung cancer, and she passed away within 7 weeks after being diagnosed. It was really hard for the kids. Both my brothers died the same year of a genetic disease that our biological mother must have had called Huntington's. There were 5 teen suicides in our town of 20,000, and my son Casey's best friend was killed in a single car accident. So I had a hard time with God during that period of time.
Right.
And I was trying to figure out why. Why, with everything that's happened, do the kids have to go through this? And, it was, I know that things happen for a reason. I tried to keep my faith, but I struggled with it a little bit.
Sure.
And then not long after that, I met a wonderful woman who had had a very difficult life for herself. And we kind of got together and got married, and she's right here. She's actually got a little shop right on a boutique on North Ironwood called On the Fringe. And she helped bring Christ to me in a way that I had never experienced it before. And it occurred to me that the same God who was present during the difficult times was the same God who brought her and me together. So it was for me a truly cathartic moment. And I decided, like Martin Luther King Jr. said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And so I've chosen now to live my life, a life of love and forgiveness and compassion, and trying to do the best I can to help people around me achieve their dreams. And Somebody once said, Maya Angelou said, if you're going to remember what you said, if you're going to remember what you did, everyone will remember how you made them feel. So that's important to me at this point in my life.
That's awesome. So how did she bring Christ to you in a different way? What exactly was that?
She believed in faith. We took her parents through a home hospice, and through all of that, her faith and her belief in Christ was so strong, it made me stop questioning things and start just believing myself. And I try to start every morning on my knees. Somebody once said that you should put your shoes or your socks underneath your bed, so that forces you to get on your knees every morning.
Oh, what a great
I was trying
thing.
to take that literally.
That's awesome. Yeah, my husband started that we pray at the end of the bed every morning. So,
Nice.
We prayed all our lives, but to pray together at the foot of the bed every day is kind of a cool new thing that he started a year or two ago. And
in this connected world, it's so easy to get lost in everything that has to be done. The average high school kid is connected to some type of a device over 11 hours a day. And until we stop and quiet the voices and find that place where you can quiet the voices, that's when Christ can come in your life and you can really, really recognize him.
Well, so we always usually like to ask, how do you stay inspired? So you get on your knees every morning.
Yep.
And how do you quiet the voices? Like, because you could be in a crowd of people and hear the voices, not the people. You know what I mean? You can be lonely in a crowd of people, and you can hear clamoring when you're alone or when you're in a crowd.
Yep. So I think that it has to be a conscious effort to want to shut it off.
Okay.
And there's also, Notre Dame is a beautiful place, and there's so many places around Notre Dame. There's a chapel in every single building, dorm, classroom, whatever it may be.
Really?
But I get my inspiration from a place at Notre Dame that we call the Cross in the Woods. Not many people seem to know about it, but if you know about the grotto at Notre Dame, the road that goes up to St. Mary's, when you get about 4/5 of the way up there, there's a little path that goes in the woods. And there in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, is this life-size crucifixion of Jesus, life-size statue of the Virgin Mary, of Mary Magdalene, benches, and it's lit up at night. And when I go there, I can hear Christ.
That's awesome. Well, I'd like to ask more about that, actually, because some people will say, I can hear Christ. And what, do you hear an audible voice? So does it sound just like Chris Stevens in your head?
Well, we all have that voice that talks to us when we're about ready to do something maybe we shouldn't be doing, returning that text going 60 miles an hour. We all have that voice inside of us that tells us things. And you got to listen really carefully, because it whispers very, very softly.
Right.
And I think Christ's voice is the same way, is if you don't allow and invite Christ in, there's no way that you can hear the magic of his words.
Right. And so my husband read some book about, the first 10 seconds. Like you have this idea to do something. Yeah, maybe that's God telling you to do something, and, maybe not. But if you're not sure, you can ask and go, okay, I wasn't sure I heard you right. I'm going to go ahead and go with this unless you stop me. Right?
Right.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, and again, I think the point is that we're all going to make mistakes. We all have.
Sure.
We all will.
Sure.
But I think the key to inner peace is to be able to forgive ourselves.
Right.
And to be quick also to forgive others. Somebody once said, a good friend is one who walks in the door when the rest of the world walks out. And sometimes those people who need the most love are the ones that need the attention and have been through difficult times. And I try to tell my students, it is impossible for you to sprinkle happiness in others and not get some on yourself. And that whatever you give in life, you're going to get back twice in return.
Right.
But you have to give.
Right. I mean, we're not here for us. I mean, if we were here for us, God would just take us to heaven because, heaven's a wonderful place, right? We're here because we're supposed to bless the people around us, right?
Yeah, and we're all sinners. And I think it's, there's so many wonderful stories in the Bible about the prodigal son and things like that. But, we're all sinners. And I think to be able to forgive creates, you feel like a cleanly washed car. You ever notice how when you wash your car, it just seems to run better?
Right.
Our souls are the same way. And then when we're able to forgive and let go and let God, good things happen.
Right. That's awesome. Thank you so much for
You're
sharing.
welcome.
I appreciate it. All right. Well, if you guys have questions about the Inspired Leadership Initiative at Notre Dame, I know that Chris Stevens would love to talk to you about that. Or if you just want to have a cup of coffee and ask about, what's Christ doing in your life, Chris, that would be great. So,
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So just message us.
Yeah, so you can email me at csteven, the number 6 at nd.edu. I'll buy the coffee.
Awesome. So even though your last name is Stevens, it's no S
Right,
on the
because
email address.
there's only a certain number of digits they can allow in an email
Got
address.
It.
So.
Okay, got it. Great. great. Okay, so it was C. Stephen
Yep.
with a V.
6 at
6.
ND.edu.
Okay, got it. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Please do share, like, subscribe, and let anybody know that needs to hear about either the ILI program or just kind of like, yeah, I can't imagine all those hard things that Chris went through. So thanks so much. Have a great day and a great week. Bye-bye.
Thanks.